LRH designer show kit. As you can see, I just wanted to show you what it looked like before I start chopping it up. That's how it looks. So first thing you do is take the chassis off of the frame. Lots of little screws everywhere, so as you can see in my other videos. Then you got to take the links off of the frame, off the chassis for the rear end, and they're kind of a pain. There you go. On the back, I clip that piece off so it doesn't keep her up in the air. It helps it stay lower. Draw my lines. Start trimming. Cut the back end off first. Then I do the wheel wells so the 26ers can fit. Looks better that way. All trimmed up, nice and clean. Take my time. I did go through a blade and it jumped on me. Almost got me. Yep, go through. Take your time if you do this. Trim them out nicely. You'll get a cleaner job if you just take your time. Go around, as you can see. So now I go through and I, round it off a little bit with the Dremel and the little sanding wheel. Looks a lot nicer, cleaner edges. That's the for the end result. You could just run it without doing that. Now it's time to put it all back together. As you can see, got to go through, start putting screws in so I can get the links in so they'll go in place. Put those 2 screws back in. Go up under the transmission. They're kind of a finicky spot there, but not too bad. Then put all the chassis screws back in. Takes a minute. Now it's time just to make sure everything's snug as a bug and moving right forward, putting the exhaust straight on. Got that all back on there, and then I'll move on to building. So there you go. All right, now it's time to put the last 2 front screws in, and I'm laying out the pieces I'm going to need. Time to do the rear suspension servos and the ESC. First thing you got to do is bind the receiver, so you make sure you got to set all your end points and get everything bound up. So now I'm setting up the servos. You got to reverse one so that it'll work together instead of against each other. Get that all in there. Took me a second because those servos actually don't fit the way they're supposed to. You got to kind of trim a little spot in the back there. It says they will, but they don't. No big deal. Now I'm just setting where my servo arm's going to be. Set my end points. Got that. Now it's time to move forward. Got to put the hopper servo in. That's what I'm doing first. Had one in my drawer. I thought it'd be a good one. 46 kg, plenty. So I'm not doing comps. I'm just lowering and raising. That's it. So got that all in. Works perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead with the steering servo. I don't really like these micro servos, but that's what they use, and I bought a couple just to go with the builds so that I'd have them. Went around snugging everything up there. Alright, everything's working. Now I just got to set some end points again. Everything's working. I'm excited. Now it's time to snug up all the wires, get everything in place. So when you change and reroute everything, it's not really designed for the wires to be in that direction. But the way I look at it is it looks nice. You get it all tucked away. I'll get some wire loom after probably and go back through these. For now, this is what's happening. Test everything again. Then I put some double-sided tape on my receiver. Make sure everything's in place. A couple zip ties just to kind of hold everything back. Time for those wheels. I custom them. Painted the middles black. They're 26ers. Thought it looked good. Matches the body I'm using. I left the centers chrome. I like that. Looks really good to me. Again, fingerprints on these things are awful. It's one of those things when you're building, you got to clean it up after. Looks really nice. And there's the money shot.